In this module, we're going to go over how to change and edit your answering service instructions and information. From the dashboard, we can go up to the Resources tab and we can click on Answering Service. This shows any emergency on-call lists that we currently have available to us. We have a different call list for week 1, 2, 3, and 4 in this particular case. And this over here shows us which call list is currently active. We can go in here, for example, we're currently in week 2. At the end of week 2, we can change the activity to the week 3 call list. This means that if we get any emergency calls, we will be calling people on the week 3 call list. If we need to change our emergency on-call list, that is very easy to do. We can simply select the call list that we want to edit, and we can go down and see the call list as we have it now, and then you see the name, the email, the phone number, and the adjust order. For example, let's say Dave does not want to be called first in this particular week. We can move Dave down to being the second person to be called. Or let's say Dave no longer wants to be called at all, or Dave's no longer with the company. We can remove him from the call list entirely. We can also go down here and we can add anybody that we may need to that contact list by simply selecting the Add button. We then would save our changes, and now we have changed the week 1 call list. Now, if we need to make an entirely new call list, that's very simple to do as well. We can select New, and we can put the name of that call list here. Call this one Temp 3, and we'll save it. Now we can go down and select our Temp 3 call list, and this function is basically the same as it would be to edit one at this point. We can go down here and we can add who we need to add to this contact list. So we're going to go ahead and add the boss, and we're going to add Harry to this contact list. We will then save that. And if we need to change the activity, for example, we have the week 1, 2, 3, and 4 available, but let's say we need to go out of that for some type of special circumstance. We now have that available, and we can select that to be active. So if any emergency calls do occur at this time, they will go now to the Temp 3 call list. Below all of the emergency contact lists, there's the answering service instructions. Here we would have the email that you'd like us to email your non-emergency messages to, a phone number if you'd like us to transfer any calls to your office during business hours, and the time frame that you would like us to do that. Below that are the special instructions. In this case, we have please transfer calls to us during business hours. After hours, take a message for non-emergency calls, and for emergency calls, please follow the active on-call list. Now, in this case, that would be the Temp 3 call list because that is the one that we have active. And this is how you change your settings for your answering service on Insight.